What is anagram string? Let's first discuss that. Let's say we have str1 as left and str2 another string as felt. So if you see, these two strings have the exact same characters, that is L, E, F and T. It's just they are rearranged in a different order. So what anagram is basically using those same characters in the first string and having those same character in the second string, but rearranged in a different order. So basically rearranged. So that is what anagram string are. So let's now discuss the solution for this. The solution that I'll be discussing in this would be by using hash map. This is the one that I feel is a decent one, so we're using hash map. So let's discuss how we'll do is we'll basically firstly we'll be traversing through the string 1. We'll be putting the characters from this string into a hash map, okay, and then in the second iteration what we'll do is we'll go through string 2 and we'll compare its characters in the hash map, and at the end what we'll check basically is if at the end what we want is firstly we'll be adding the characters from string 1 and from the string 2. If we find those, we will be removing them from the hash map. So at the end the hash map should be empty, and so if the hash map is empty, which will indicate that the strings are anagram. So this is the solution that we will be following. Now let's check the code for this. First what we'll do is we'll have the main method for the static void main, so that where we'll be providing string args, providing the input strings. So string str1 is equal to, let's say, left, and string str2 is equal to felt. This is the one that we use in the example as well. So what we'll do is we'll simply have the condition if is anagram. This is the function that we will use. We'll just create. If this is the case, is anagram, then we'll print yes, they are anagram. Otherwise we'll simply print not anagram. Okay, so now let's implement this method is anagram public static boolean. So we'll be checking if this is anagram or not. So boolean is anagram string str1 comma string str2. So we'll need to return something, so let's return true for now, so that we are not throwing any errors at the beginning. So at this point what we will do is, this is the very basic condition, that we have, which is if the length of the first string is not equal to that of the second string, then we'll be simply throwing a false, because see, if the length of these are not the same, then they are definitely not anagram. So that is the check that we're doing at the very first. So once we're done with this, now let's create a hash map, where we will add the characters, new hash map. Okay, we'll have to import these, import Java dot util dot hash map import java dot map. Okay, this is gone. So once we have the map ready, now what we'll do is we'll start traversing through the string 1 and we'll add individual characters from it to the hash map. So for int I is equal to 0, I is less than str1 dot length plus plus, and in here what we'll do is we will simply start putting each character. So first let's get that str1 dot caret I. Cool. Now if the map, the hash map already now if the map now first we'll basically check if the map already has this character in it or not. So if it does not up until now, we'll simply add that character. So map dot put the char with map dot with value 1. This is the case where there was no value, like character added for the first time. In this case it is character already exists, so increasing count. So in this case what we'll do is map dot put the character with map dot, we'll get that character and increase its counter by 1. Okay, so in this particular function, this was for the string 1 to store the characters in hash map. Now we'll start the for loop for the second, which will be for the string 2, in which what we'll do is we will check characters with string 1 and remove them accordingly from the hash map. So for int I is equal to 0, I less than str2 dot length and I plus plus. In this what we will do is we will again get that character, because that will be needed again and again, dot caret I is to store it. Now after this what we'll do is we'll apply a condition basically, which is that if whatever character we are choosing that simply doesn't exist in the hash map, which means one of these string and string 2 are not already in this one of the characters in string 2 is not in the hash map, which should be as per string 1. So in that case what we'll do is we will fail will fail the execution. This here, it should be there. So if map dot contains key ch, if map dot contain basically, which means if map does not contains that character, in that case we will return a false. Okay, now what we'll do is, now for the next step what we'll do is map dot put, we'll see if this character is there. If we already have that character, we have found this character in string 2 as well, we'll simply map dot get that character and we'll decrease its counter. So basically earlier if there was in the hash map L was 1. Now what we'll do is we'll make it 0 so that we know, okay, both the strings have L in them. So this is this. And now if map, let's say map, in the map the character is already at 0, if the map does not have that character at this point of time, it's basically its count is 0, we'll return, we'll remove it from the map, and at the end, rather than returning true, what we'll do is map dot is empty, because like I said earlier, this should be true in the case when the characters that were added from string 1 are the same in string 2 and they have basically cancelled each other. So now let's try and run this anagram. This is giving us anagram string. Now let's try something else. Let's say car. This should give us not anagram. Okay. Java is fun is Java. This should give not anagram. And if we add nef c Java, let's say this should give us anagram. It does.